you all know about Sesha. Like he's KLU student group leader, and he conducted a lot of events with Roshan, Kishore, and Natul, and a lot of famous persons in Telugu Sohana. Okay, so yeah, so our community, Vijayawada community, we have started this community last year, October, but today we are inaugurating our first event, first session, which is Meet the Leaders. So after starting the Vijayawada community group, I didn't get an opportunity to explore. I was thinking how to start, how to conduct the sessions like that. But few months back, I got a ping from Sesha. So and Sesha was showing interest, Anna, start the you are the leader, and we can export the Vijayawada developer community group. We can expand Vijayawada to across all the groups. Like we have our neighbor groups like Vizag and group, and by Bangalore also. So we have a lot of groups over here. But when compared to distance wise, it's Vijayawada is it's the middle to Vizag, and then Hyderabad and to Bangalore also. So we were like, let's take some time because the situations are like this outside. So let's take some time. Let's take 3 month time like that. So we'll come up with a bang. We'll come up with a good theme to explore the Vijayawada developer group. So and he was busy with his exams also. He recently completed his SEM exams. I guess last month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So last month he's completed his SEM exams, and he got onboarded to company also. So yeah, so actually this moment, guys. So the moment came, and we are here now. Yeah, we started with this meet the leaders, and then and we have planned some other events also going forward. Definitely, we will reveal all these. We will come up with good stuff also. So
Thank you,
some
Suresh.
introduction about this some introduction about us. And China is also one of our member. So he will take care of all this event planning, and whatever the technical aspects are there. So China will take care. So we three are part of the Vijayawada developer group team now. And yeah, definitely in future the team developer group, Vijayawada developer group will have some more people based on the interest levels of the other person. So we'll definitely consider those also. We'll definitely move forward. Yes, Sesha, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Suresh, for this kind words and introducing our Vijayawada to you today. And since Suresh Anna is a group leader from past few months, but I came on board as a group leader recently, and we decided, Anna, we don't need to wait for the in-person event because this prediction is not going to allow us for few months for our inaugural in-person event. So we just have to start with this virtual event. So that's why we come up with this initiative hashtag Meet the Leaders, and we just want to make this session very light, very fun, in a fun way, and interactive session, because nowadays all the technical stuff is happening everywhere in the Ohana, in any community. So the one thing we are missing is around the world is there are some protests, there are lockdowns, and there is nothing good happening. So we just want to put everything into light and more into a fun way. So yeah, we are here with an interactive session with Atul Gupta, Kishore P. and Roshan. Yes.
Join us.
Hello, Atul sir.
Hey guys, thank you.
Conducting. Hi, Atul. Please go ahead.
Hi Suresh. Hi Sesha. Hi Kishore. Hi Roshan. My apologies, guys. Got a little late.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming, Atul sir. Thank you, Roshan and Kishore sir, for joining.
Sure.
Thank you. And yeah, so we are going to be have this session in a lighter way, in a funny way, and you guys are going to see how much funny, how much crazy our DVG leaders are.
All right.
So yeah, yes, we are having three surprises in this event, guys, and yeah, we are with first surprise, and the first surprise is you have to tweet, share, and you have to win. What you are going to win? You're going to win some swags. Yes. So to win the swags, you have to tweet our event with hashtag Meet the Leaders and also tag our Vijayawada SFDC. So how we are going to pick our winners? Like we are going to pick three winners. and the first winner will be like whoever will be having the best tweet will be the first winner, and whoever will have more likes to his tweet, he will be the second winner, and whoever tweets more, the count will be more, he will be the third winner. All these three winners will be getting some awesome swags. Okay, so
Yeah, guys, and
while you're waiting,
you don't have any limit to retweet. You can do that in number of times. So
yes.
yeah, so just to kill that button.
Yes, while you're waiting, guys, go and tweet our event with hashtag Meet the Leaders and at the rate of Vijay please. And this is our first surprise, and two more surprises are waiting for you in this event.
Yeah.
Yep. Next
Stay
slide.
tuned, guys. Yeah. So guys, so this is our agenda, guys. So we have started already. So 11 a.m. We were giving the welcome keynote by. So we have done that, and 11:10 a.m. Keynote speakers are muted and themselves, and they introduce themselves. So that is also done. So next one, this is a big one. So this is the concept of us meet the leader. So that's going to be happen in few minutes. Interaction with the speakers, followed by the question and answers by audience. So if you have any questions, you can definitely you can definitely shoot us on the chat box so that we can look into those also. And following that, already one surprise revealed by Sesha, and you have two more surprises. Just stay tuned. We'll have fun, guys. I promise you on that. Okay, so these are the thumb rules, guys. Again, you are keep on saying this. Mute yourself so while the speakers are talking, so that the session will go very smoothly. And please don't share your screen for the entire session. Please, guys, please don't do this. And yeah, feel free to use the chat window. If you have any questions, you can just shoot us. And if you while Shesha was asking any questions, or while the speakers are talking, if you have anything coming to your mind, please post it in the box so that we can have a look, and definitely we can answer to those. Yeah, Shesha.
Thank you, Suresh, for this head up. And oh yeah, now the time has arrived. We are going to interact with our speakers. Let's welcome Atul Gupta, sir. He is the CEO of Cloud Vandana Solutions, New Delhi Developer Group Leader, 9x certified, and you can also follow him at the rate of Atul31 Gupta in Twitter. Hello, Atul, sir. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Sesha. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Chandi. All of you guys, thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm delighted. Again, this is your first meetup. So first meetups are always a special occasion for all the people who are involved. It's special for you. It's special for us as well because we have been invited, and we feel really, really honored. And then special for the entire community as well, because they'll start interacting with you guys. And now they have a place where they can come together. They have a platform, the Vijayawada group. You guys have given the Vijayawada developers and students a platform where they can you know share their learnings, have fun, and grow their network. So I think it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be blast, Atul, sir. Just stay tuned.
Yes.
And woohoo, we are having MVP in the party. Let's welcome Kishore BT, sir, Senior Salesforce Developer of Tech Systems, Salesforce MVP, and Ben Old's biggest community group leader, Bengaluru DG leader he is. And you can also follow him at the rate iKishore BT in Twitter. Hello, Kishore, sir. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Shisha. Hi, Suresh. And hi, others from all over the place who have joined this event, inaugural event. Yeah, I mean, like the first event when I started, it was like I was just a 2 years guy, 2 years of Salesforce developer experience. That time I started my journey. First event is like a memorable event as well. So hope I wish all the best for you guys, and keep growing and keep others also grow with you. So share the knowledge and yeah, rock yourself. That's it. That is what we have been doing since 6+ years in Bangalore.
Yeah, with your inspiration, definitely we'll
Your
do that.
inspiration,
Sure,
definitely.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
We are having the rock star. Let's welcome Roshan Raj Kotla, CEO of Alltalk, Hyderabad Developer Group Leader, and he's also a solution architect. Please follow him at the rate of Roshan Kotla in Twitter. Hello, Roshan sir.
Yes, Sesha, good morning. How are you? Just
I'm
see you.
good. I'm good. I'm seeing you after a long time, texting
After
you.
a long time.
Yeah, I think 20 minutes before.
It's been 20 minutes. Yes.
Yes.
Is it 20 minutes, Sesha? Really?
We are chatting in WhatsApp 20 minutes before.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
on a serious note, thank you all the audience, all the people who have joined. There are some special people, but every person who joined is special. Uh, on behalf, if I may take the liberty of saying this, on behalf of Vijayawada Developer Group, I would also want to extend the happiness you bring when you join a first time event, whether it's in person or online, doesn't matter. Because you motivate them, you motivate us, and it tells us that there is a lot of meaning to what we are doing. And I'm sure Chinna, Suresh, Sesha, all of them have put a lot of efforts. It may not show up all the time. It may not come out the best way possible. But in terms of efforts, there's no doubt an effort which goes into any event or meetup. I'm sure all the other leaders who have joined would agree with that. And so always be supportive and be understanding of, because they're also people like us who have got their jobs and families and friends and girlfriends and have normal Sundays and Saturdays, and in spite of that they'll have to put in that extra effort, put in those extra hours to make these things happen, so congratulations guys, and thank you all the people who have joined us.
Thank you, Roshan.
Thank you,
I'll
Roshan.
tell you just
Thanks,
one small thought which I have in my mind right now. I feel like, I was telling yesterday somebody, what is this event about? I put that in my status, and they were asking me, okay, should we join? Can we win something? And what session are we giving and things like that. I said no. It's like I asked them just one question. Do you watch Coffee with Karan? They said yes.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
So,
Don't reveal anything, Roshan.
Like, no, see, the concept is Coffee with Karan. You're gonna invite some guests. We three of us are here, and you're gonna blast us with questions. Hopefully, questions which are going to put us in a spot, and me, Kishore, and Atul have to smartly escape the questions while answering them, right? So that's going to be our challenge, and in this process, I'm hoping audience will have fun. But yeah, let's see, Sesha, who wins this Coffee with Karan. Yeah, I feel like that celebrity sitting in that sofa with and
But Roshan, at the end of the day, Karan will win. Okay.
so it would be like Roshan. It would be like Coffee with Karan. Along with that, you'll have some more stuff also. Let's wait for that. Do you watch
that
this
I'm not aware of, so that may be a surprise.
Ellen
But
shows?
the exact feeling is about feeling like a celebrity, or feeling like that person sitting on the couch waiting to win a hamper.
So yeah.
All up for it. Thank you.
Yes.
So the other part would be like the second surprise. So it's on the cards now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shasha, please go ahead.
Yes. Before I start the Q&As with our DG leaders, I just want to tell you one thing. Atul sir is having his event at 4 p.m. Hashtag Impact Salesforce Saturday. Kishore sir is not feeling well from past 2 weeks. He is actually hospitalized. Sorry for that, Kishore sir. And I'm very happy you are recovering and recovered. And Roshan sir, he is having lots of projects, and
Lots of work. I'm always busy. Yes.
he's having
Sesha had to come up with something for Roshan, so he had something for Atul, he had something for Kishore. So he said, okay, Roshan has got one.
No, Roshan sir. I know what you are having. He's sleeping at midnight and waking up at early morning. They gave some time for us, and I just ping them at WhatsApp. We are having this, can you please join? Right away they were like, yes, we are in. But I know they are very busy in their life. That's the thing I want to share, and that's the love between we all. And thank you all. You guys are a backbone to me, to be honest, because you guys are there in our Yale University event, and who else can be in our first inaugural event rather than you three? Thank you guys, and I love you three. Thank you for joining us.
For sure, Sesha. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we are going to have Q&A sessions. Okay, Atul sir, can you please share your journey from your college to job to Salesforce to DUG leader to till date. Just I know your journey will be a movie, but just show us the trailer.
Not exactly a movie, guys.
Atul, without heroines.
Please involve heroines also. It will be more fun.
Sorry, guys. Yes, I really wanted to have the video, but I'm not sure. From today, this has never happened. But today, and I love. It's not about me being shy, but yeah, I'm facing some issues with my camera, so we have to carry on like this. But no worries, guys. Just imagine my face, and yeah. So my journey, guys, it is definitely interesting. And when I look back, think back, it is definitely it's a weird and interesting tale. So there are going to be some lessons for you guys. There have been a lot of lessons for me. And let me tell you, anyone, any new guy just out of college, I always tell them these things, my journey, so that they know exact that you don't, you don't need to bound yourself in any dogma or anything that people say or people think or the norms to succeed in life. So the way this works, guys, let me tell you, I'm a BTech biotechnology graduate from a university called Amity University that is based in Delhi NCR region. So you might have heard about Amity University. Again, people say that you can just pay the money and get into that university. Um, well, they do take your test, and yes, do take your money. But yeah, that Amity University is definitely not regarded as one of the IITs and AIEEEs. So that's definitely there. So I was actually, let me tell you guys, I was actually going to Delhi University. I really wanted to have that Delhi University. If you might have heard about Delhi University life, um, the real college life, so to say, campus life. But my parents were against it. They said, at least do a BTech. I really wanted to do a BSc, MSc, and PhD. I was really into genetic engineering and recombinant DNA technology and all that. I really didn't want to become a doctor, that was for sure. But yeah, but frankly, I'm not the kind of guy who's who's gonna treat people. But yeah, I really wanted to do something with biology. But yeah, my parents kind of said, at least do a BTech. So they kind of got me admitted to Amity. And at that time, so first year went well. I was really studious in everything. Second year, I don't know how, but I lost my interest totally, completely in biotechnology. I don't have any reason for that. I don't know. But yeah, I did lose my interest. And then third and fourth year, I enjoyed my college life. And my CGPA went from 8.9 first year to around 6.5 in last year. Right. So it was a complete downfall. But yeah, on average, I kind of, passed with 7.2 or 7.4 CGPA aggregate, and that was good enough. And then, like any other college we have in India, big companies came in. In my case, Accenture came in, and they hired around 1,300 people at the same time. And I think our batch was, and they hire like everyone, right? So some of the toppers, and let me tell you, there are a lot of studious people in Amity University, right? It's not all that bad. I'll be frank with you. It is a good university. There's this study going on, but yes, there are a lot of people who also go there just to get a degree, right? So that's why sometimes it gets a bad name. But otherwise, at that time, we had a couple of students who were 95 percentiles in their, CBSE boards, ICSE boards, and they get 100% to 50% scholarships. So those guys were like, hey, everybody got inculcated, everybody got hired, right? And that's how it is. That's how these hirings work. Everybody gets hired. These are mass hirings. So frankly, if I would have taken my interview at that time, I wouldn't have hired myself at that time. Yeah, I didn't know anything. I'll be honest, guys, I didn't know for loop, how for loop worked. I was a biotechnology graduate, right? And I was getting into an IT company. And these companies, they just ask you, let me tell you the things they asked you. They ask you, are you ready to work night shifts? I was like, hey, am I getting into a call center job? They said, no, but are you ready to work night shift? I said, yes. And some, there was one I was talking to after, I was just sitting outside the interview room, and I was like, okay, I'm going to say no to this, yes to this, and everything. But there's one guy, he said, just say yes to everything, and otherwise you're not going to get hired. I was like, okay, fine. So he said, okay, are you willing to shift out of Delhi? Maybe Bangalore, Chennai, anywhere. I was supposed to say no, but I said yes. So anything he said, I said yes, 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 yes. And then, and you have to show them that you're not going to leave the company. Yes, I'm very loyal, this and that, right? So these are the criteria these guys look for. And yeah, I was hired. And frankly, a lot of people got hired. So that's how I got in. I went to Bangalore. It was a big fight with my parents here in Delhi. Yes, a lot of people still face that issue. I was one of them. I was nobody in my family has done a job. You know, they're all into businesses, small, medium-sized businesses, everything. You know, so doing a job and going out of Delhi is something that my family was not exactly sure of. But I kind of fought with them, and I went to Bangalore. And this was the first time I was out of home, guys. So all my life I've been at home. I've been you know, college, I've been a day scholar. I used to travel 40 kilometers up and down daily to my college. So this was the first time I was out of my home on my own, and I really enjoyed my 1 year in Bangalore. And yeah, I barely survived. So first year was good because I had a very nice team in Bangalore. I got into a project, and guys, I was sitting, so my Salesforce interview at Accenture, the way it went, I was sitting with the topper of computer science from Amity University, right? And she was a damn brilliant student. We were both asked questions. Okay, what's inheritance? Java questions, right? What is inheritance, and what's interfaces, and what are classes, this and that. She answered all of the questions, and I was barely answering them. But you know, since I got in and the project manager needed people to work on the project, they said okay. So first year was good. You know, first year guys, you know, some, you know, depending on the project, but I had a good team. They didn't put a lot of pressure on me. After 1 year, I came to, now here where the fun starts of my career. I came to Delhi, right? It was a culture shock. Yes, I'm a Delhiite, and from Bangalore to Delhi, it was a culture shock for me. I had become a proper Bangalorean guy, right? I had more Kannadigas friends than Delhi friends. So I was so much, you know, into the whole culture. So Delhi became a culture shock. It was a little harsh on me, Delhi, and especially the people here at Accenture. They were also a little harsh. In Bangalore, we used to say first names. So our manager, you know, the manager who's like handling the entire delivery unit, we used to call him Balaji. So his name was Balaji, and we used to call him, "Hey Balaji, how are you doing? Hey Balaji, this. Hey Balaji, that." And here, my TL, right? I spoke to him with his first name, and everybody was looking at me like I'm what kind of weirdo I am, because everybody was used to saying sir. So
Hello,
it's
sir.
yeah. Yes. So it became a weird experience. Because, you know, in Bangalore, we were said, you know, everybody is equal. You're in a professional environment. Just, you know, address everyone with their first name. Not even sir, just first name, right? A proper professional environment. Delhi, it was a little different. Everybody was used to saying sir, ma'am, things like that. And then I also got pressured to start working on code. So again, my coding skills were also were still not good, because I had not taken them seriously. And my manager called me up in Delhi and said, "Atul, either you're going to work on code, or we have to do something about you." Yeah, they said that. So I was like almost fired. And yes, there was a little bit of politics in there as well. Yes. So guys, yes, you have to become, once you're going to get into uh, uh, you know, your job, you also have to deal with politics. There are going to be some people who are not going to like you, and they would start pushing you around. So that also happened with me. And but again, you know, politics is only going to affect you if you're not good at your work. If you're good at your work, then nobody can do anything about you. You know, you do good work, and you make sure that the right people know that you're doing good work. That's the really important thing, and nobody can touch you anywhere in any organization. And then I invested myself for the next 2 years, from 2012 to 14. My goal was becoming a Dev 501. So at that time in Accenture, entire Accenture, they used to have a repository where they used to have like how many people overall in Accenture entire world, how many people. Again, guys, I know I'm stretching it, but I'm going to be really quick now.
Okay.
In overall in Accenture, there were how many people have which certification. So there were 18 people all over Accenture in 2012 that had 501 certification, right? Which is equivalent to platform developer 2. So I was like, okay, this is something rare. I need to do this. I want to do this. So for next 2 years, 2.5 years, I invested myself, went back to Herbert Schild, version 5 Java, and read through the whole book end to end a couple of times. What is for loop, what is if, everything, yeah, from scratch. Scoping was something that was really hard for me to understand, but I understood it. Then parameters, return types, these are basics of programming, guys. Yes, at that time I didn't know these things. So I invested myself. I barely survived, guys. Let me tell you, I don't know how I survived, but I was, just going through it. So it was mixture of dedication. So I was the one in the entire bay who would say yes to anything, right? I have done testing. I've done work for other projects for free. I've done work till 2 a.m. when everybody used to say, no, we need to go home by 6. Manager used to look at me. I said, yeah, sure. Why not, sir? Yes, because I knew I had disadvantage. I didn't know code. So I had to make up for it by my dedication and hard work. Otherwise they'll kick me out. So looking at that, my seniors, thank God, they appreciated it. They saw me growing technically. They saw me as the person who would, like, you ask me of doing anything and I would do in terms of work. And that's how I survived, right? And for 2 years, and I really very, very quickly, I kind of learned everything. And then in 2015, no, not 2014 end, I think it was December, I got the email, Atul, congratulations, you have cleared Dev 501 certification. And guys, at those times, it was really difficult to crack. There were a lot of people in our bay in Delhi NCR region who have attempted. There was an assignment involved, and it was a really tough one. And a lot of people, seniors, failed. But when I got that email, I was really happy. So again, the purpose of my life, the goal that I've set for myself was done. So again, I was goalless. I was not sure what to do next. Then I was like, okay, let me fill that gap that I have in my mind and heart with doing more certifications. I did more certifications. Then I got bored of them as well. Then I started working on an AppExchange app, right? And so so 4 years I've invested myself a lot, and I was really tired. I just decided, let's quit my job and let's take some rest. Guys, I would say I was lucky in a way where I didn't have to pay. So I never paid my family even a single rupee. There are guys out there. There were guys in my bay who had to give half of their salary to their parents because they were coming from backgrounds where they were maybe the sole bread earners, or they had to support their families. I was a lucky one. My father, his business was supporting my family, so I didn't have to give anything. Everything was pocket money for me. So I thought, Atul, this is the right time. You are lucky enough. And again, a lot of people don't understand that they are, what advantages they have. So always, guys, understand your advantages over others, right? And then take a balanced guess and risk, and then go forward with it. So I understood that. And I said, okay, you know what? I can afford to not do job for 1.5 years. And I was sure I'll get a job. I had improved my skills a lot at that time. So I quit my job and I started doing freelancing. And my dad was opposed to it. My entire family was opposed to it. My friends were like, what the hell are you doing? But I was like, come on, guys. This is just a vacation. Okay, let me relax a little bit. But frankly, I was not relaxing. I was working on other things. So AppExchange app didn't work out, but I started getting a lot of freelance work. So that freelance work, automatically kind of organically grew. I needed help. I had to hire people. I formed a company. I hired more people. And guys, yeah. So that's how we have come to now. So yeah, it has been a very organic journey. And frankly, I didn't had any purpose of creating a company or something like that. There was no plan. But yeah, it eventually happened. And I never, frankly, I was earning enough after that I never felt like going back to a full-time job. So yeah, so that's the entire. So guys, again, just a couple of points here. So a couple of learnings here, guys. If I can do it, anybody can do it, right? I was not exactly a studious guy. Let me tell you guys, and it took me a lot of time and energy to invest myself into this and learn coding. And I think coding is, from my point of view, again, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of smart guys out there in the world. From my point of view, becoming a coder was one of the biggest challenges of my life. Learning how to code, it takes a lot of patience, logical understanding, and I would say a lot of brain to do coding, and to do coding fast. I'm not the fastest coder, but I know a lot of people who are very good at coding. And frankly, guys, the biggest thing about Salesforce platform, it's not all about coding. It's also about understanding how the platform works. So it's a good mix. So as a Java guy, you're going to be all coding. You don't need to worry about anything. Just code. On Salesforce platform, you have to be careful about the platform things. You have to be careful about the platform limits, and in that framework you have to code. So guys, invest yourself. You can do anything if you put your time and energy to it. It's going to take some time, it's going to take a lot of energy, but you can learn anything out there in the world. Yeah. Sesha.
Thank you, Atul sir, for this inspiration. I think it's more inspiration to students or recent grads.
Yeah.
It's, you took it very length, but it is very inspiring for us. And yep. Hello, Kishore sir. I think you have to please share your journey, your trailer, so-called trailer, from your college to job to DG leader to MVP, and MVP till date. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Hey all, this is Kishore. Um, uh, okay, so about me, or about my career or throughout my life, I did not study in one place. I studied all over India, most parts of India. So I don't have many friends, literally. And the friends who I have is like only like Twitter, and then only like WhatsApp, or only from the people who I had it in my masters or in my degree life. That's it. So apart from that, I don't have 10th friends, or I don't have LKG friends, nothing like that, because I don't even remember where they are. Okay, so one is that. And after that, I started my masters in MCA. I mean, like I did my MCA in Bangalore, and I okay. So I did my MCA in one of the most reputed college. I don't want to name it, but it is one of the most reputed college in India and in world as well. So the thing is, like, over there, people get job very easily with highest number of package. I mean, like it is easily like 2 digits package when you're doing B. But whereas in my case, I did my masters in MCA, so I did not get job. So I struggled a lot for 2 months, and then uh, not even struggled. I mean, like literally, one of my friend called for an interview. The interview scheduled was 10 o'clock. He called me at 11 o'clock. I was sleeping at that time, and then I went there at 12 o'clock. Luckily, there were people taking interviews, so I got selected, and unluckily he did not get into it. So that is when I started my career in Salesforce. That company deployed me for the project to Salesforce. So there it started, and then. I thought, like, okay, see, I have this mindset, like, okay, why people are not taking MCA background people? Because though we are like nowhere down to these BE guys. So I had that mindset. So what I did, I started exploring. That was after 1 year of experience what I had. So I went to my own college. I started teaching MCA grads. So that is when I started with students, and that is how I started with. I did the same thing with other colleges as well. Other colleges with MCAs and BSc BCAs, because the mindset with these guys are like completely different. They think like, okay, we are not even eligible for the software company, but whereas it is not true. If you have a good mind, if you have any good technical capabilities, then you're easily getting into the company is like very easy. And if you have an add-on a skill set like Salesforce, then it is very easy to get a job in terms of lateral entry, or in terms of joining to an organization. I'm like, yeah, they should also have a mindset that, okay, you will be taking up this Salesforce career because you know few parts of the Salesforce, because you've done it in your graduation, or you've done it in your post graduation, so all those stuff. So that is what I've started my journey. And then with Bangalore DUG, I'll make it short. So with Bangalore DUG, I've been there since 5+ years, and yeah, since 2014 I've been here with Bangalore we don't call it DUG, developer user group, we call it developer group. There is nothing like user group. Earlier we had, in 2014 we had user groups. User groups are something different, and the developer groups are something different. But yeah, since then it is going on. And about MVP, the thing is, like, I contributed in online platforms, success community, developer community, stack exchanges, but most of them are in like success community because I was running out of time, and then I had projects as well. So I contributed a lot in success community, being honest. I used to sleep at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock just by answering questions, because even that was triggering me, like why it is not executing, why it is not giving me the proper formula, or why the validation rule is not working. I did it for, I mean, like, I'm still doing it, but I made it continuously for 1.5 years. And then I was being top 15 for a couple of months, and then I started there. And then, yeah, again, how it is all contribution. That's all. When they announced it, literally, I was shocked. I was surprised that I am an MVP. And then I'm like surprised. Literally, I have no words for it. So yeah, that is how the MVP stories goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore sir. It's really inspiring. And many people can inspire from you. And thanks for mentioning this success community. Those who want to contribute, you can contribute on live by this event, and also
guys, it is not contributing. Let me tell you, being honest. So it is like you learn there. You learn a business process of other companies. So in any other domain, I don't see. Yeah, in Microsoft we have platforms. Okay, but if you want to learn something, being on your own, for sure. I mean, like, you have to go to success community, take an example there, learn from there. Okay, that is how I learned. And then if you want to learn a developer skills, being honest, you have two platforms. One is developer.salesforce.com, one is stackexchange.salesforce.com. Stack Exchange is like way ahead of answering the questions. Okay, you find damn genius people over there in Stack Exchange. But yeah, developer is, again, yeah, you have LWC concepts over there, you have lightning components or lightning queries over there. You can learn many things, including their business, including their processes, including their scenarios. So it is not like in Salesforce, I mean, like, when people say I don't have any scenarios, then they are not going into the right path. So my only serious question is like, yeah, contribute. I mean, like, yeah, if you know the questions or if you know the answers, you will for sure, you will go and answer it. But with you, there are like other 5 answers where you can learn from that 5 answers. So that is how I started my journey. So that is how I contributed. I answered instead of contributing. I participated, literally. So, and then that is how the MVP came with me.
That's really awesome. You learn, you contribute, and you win.
It's an inspiring.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing your journey. And now, Roshan ji, can you share your journey from your college to
How much
job?
time do I have?
Time.
Sorry.
I know you can go up to evening. Your journey is that big. Please give us the trailer. Just please give us the trailer of your journey.
So 2 things actually. There are a few common things. So on a quick note to Kishore and Atul. So about the company, probably I'll talk about that a little later. Kishore, two things. One, you're giving us a good tour of Bangalore. So all this while you're looking at
That's
right now, you see location, UV city. So pretty much an aerial view of the entire city, which is quite nice. I think somebody else also pointed that.
Yeah.
And the second thing I would say, just on the success community, that he made very good points, Kishore. Totally with you on that. And that's what I tell people when they say, "Oh, where do I learn?" There is so much there to learn. You can just go there and learn. And the best part for me, at least, there are no strings attached. If you are in your organization, going to your other teammate and say, "Okay, give me some work," then you are bound to finish that, or you have a responsibility to say, "Okay, I have to finish this by tomorrow, 4 o'clock." Or if it's your project requirement, you have to do that. But when you go to success community, developer community, there are no timelines given to you. There are no, there's no stress on you that you have to finish this by this amount of time. It's that freedom which actually makes you learn and makes you contribute. At least that's how I look at it. Because nobody's telling me, "Oh, Roshan, you have to finish this by tomorrow this time or by end of this week." And I think, like Kishore said, he used to sit till 4 o'clock in the morning just because it was his curiosity to, get those answers or make them work. Nobody told him to. Typically, you would assume that, okay, you are having night outs because somebody is asking you to finish it by that time, be it a client or a team manager or your boss or whoever that is. So that's something which is also very good thing about these success communities and developer communities. All right. So then coming about, okay, I see a couple of questions. Okay, no, not to me. That was to Kishore. Kishore will answer.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yes. 11:55. Let's take 10 minutes, guys. Please bear with me for 10 minutes. There's too many things, and these guys gave me so many hints.
And Roshan, followed by you guys are having some questions also. I mean,
After
just a few Q&A.
Oh yeah, that's what I know. That's why I asked. That's why I said how much time do we have.
Yeah.
So in terms of schooling, I relate to Kishore. I've studied across the country. I've lived in the northern part, the eastern parts, Assam, the western parts. Finally settled down in southern part of the country. So I kind of understand a lot of languages. I've traveled across the country. I've thankfully also, in terms of states and countries, I've visited about 8 or 9 countries. So in terms of knowing the culture, it's been very easy for me, and that is very helpful for anybody who's young. If you get a travel opportunity, take it. Don't worry about your food and culture and I know you would say, "Who will take care about my mom, and my girlfriend is asking me not to travel. She's in Pune, I'm in Bangalore, don't go there." No, just travel. Just take every travel opportunity when you are young, and that makes a huge difference to your personality in general. So yes, I've also studied that way. When in terms of engineering, yes, I'm also BTech grad CS, but honestly, I never went to classes, or even when I was in class, I was a backbencher, maybe playing all weird kinds of games, and maybe that was the time when mobile phones were just introduced, just newly introduced. So we had a lot of anxiety about using that for SMS and everything. But in short, I think I never imagined about forming a company. Like Atul said, that's why I relate to him. I never imagined, or I never targeted to say, "Okay, I'll have my own firm and I should do this, that." For me, it was just saying, "Okay, become an engineer." Ghar mein bola, you become an engineer, go. I was a good student, by the way, all throughout my educational part of my life. And luckily enough, without studying much. So I was always in top 2 or 3 by not studying much. I could achieve that. So I'm not boasting about myself, but I'll tell you why I'm telling you that. I could achieve a top 3 in spite of bunking classes, not listening to lectures, not taking notes. I just had one notebook throughout my first year, one notebook to second year, one note. So that kind of a student. If you have known those people in your class, yes, I'm one among them. You just carry one notes for every subject. In fact, bunk exams as well, internal exams as well. That's how bad it was. But the reason was I somehow told myself, college is not going to teach me anything. I'll have to wait for the college to get over. Yeah, Rupesh, that's what they call me to, and some of them are jealous as well. I lost a couple of friends because of that attribute that I had of not studying too much and getting those good marks. So I had a good thing of about grasping something quickly, so I could read for a half an hour and still go right in the best way possible in an exam. But yeah, talking about the engineering. So I somewhere I told myself that college is not going to teach me anything. This is something I talked about at KLU University as well when I was there a few months back. That okay, college is just to enjoy. Don't worry about anything. Just get out of the college and then you can figure out and do what you want to do. Yes, I might have made good career about good things out of my life, but when I look back, I don't think that's the right thing. Honestly, I think college is the time when you could do anything. I'm not talking. So it could be coding, it could be making YouTube videos, it could be I don't know, it could be playing the game you like, but you got to do something. I probably did nothing in completeness. It was like doing everything, bunking, playing cricket, or sitting in the class just doing nothing. So that was aimless spending time, aimless 4 years. I would say, okay, yes, you make friends, yes, you learn something, and you get exposure and those kind of things. But if there are students in this session, I would say find something which you like, and those 4 years you can get your exams, backlogs, fine, you can clear it. No, as long as you clear your subjects within those 4 years, I think most companies do not bother about it. And don't just think about a job, think about what you actually like. I know it's tough to say, there's a lot of pressure, you have education loans, your parents pressure, but people who can actually afford to think more than just getting those marks and clearing those backlogs. After engineering, again, I have to quickly share this journey about my interview, because I think there were a couple of good stories there. I went to that was my first year. I got placed in Infosys, by the way. My college did not have any campus placements. I joined a college. I chose a college which was closer to my house, where I could travel less, not take the college bus, and again, coming back, easily bunk classes. Otherwise, engineering colleges are too far off the city and you have to take college bus. I did not have a bike back then. So right from choosing the college, it was like, oh, just look at your comforts and those kind of things. We did not have any college pass out. So we had an off campus. I went to my interview without a resume. I know it's very careless, but I went to my first campus selection interview for a company like Infosys in my third year without a profile or resume in my hand. I just went there. In fact, I did not even tell people at home that I was going for this. I just dressed up normally and I went for this. We had to travel to a different city for this interview, and it was just an exam that I cleared. After the exam, I did not even bother to check the results. To the city where I traveled, I had a friend, so I went to his home to have some nice food. His mom makes good food, so I said, okay, the exam is done. Let's just go have some food. And then I got a call saying, okay, you're selected. There was this huge seminar hall where they were calling out my name. I think that was the time I was telling, I think Rupesh or Atul yesterday. That was the time I got used to this being called up on this major platforms for a wrong reason, I would say. But yes, thankfully they called. I went to a printer room. I did some quick changes. I got a printout. I cleared my interview. And I think the way I cleared my interview was not my tech. If you know Infosys interviews, they don't check your tech skills. They look at your overall ability of your communication, and you'll not believe. I was asked about. My dad was in Air Force. He's a retired Air Force guy. So I was just asked about the travel that I had until that age and a few stories from those. That gave them, I don't know what idea they gave them, but yes, it tells you a little bit about the personality and things. Obviously, I did not have any backlogs. That was also one surprise that my friends had. How can you not have a backlog in engineering after doing all this bunking and all this nonsense? So that helped. Cleared. I had no clue what I was doing. My learning only started when I joined Infosys. I learned, we were taught Java in 4 days, C in 5 days, DBMS in 3 days. If you know the curriculum, Chinna, I think he's there. You are taught, hey Abhishek. Yes, so if you're Infosys, like in 3 months, you're taught all damn technologies of the world. And you don't know what to do with them. You just have to clear. Which again, here I would boast about myself. I really just used to sit with people who are studying, look at them, look at what they're doing, and then go to the exam. I never had a night out in my Infosys. Abhishek and Chinna, if you know what that means, I never had a night out. I used to go to play a sharp at 5 o'clock and spend time till 12 o'clock, go watch a movie and sleep, miss my morning session, all that. Even after joining Infosys, that's a big thing is how they see it. But I would not regret that, because after that you never get, so those 5 months you never get back. After 5 months you are always in a project and these things. But the point is, whatever I was taught there, I don't know what I don't even remember. After finishing that, clearing those exams and everything, I was put into a Salesforce project, given exact 12-minute brief of what is Salesforce, and was expected to deliver in production. You know, as in, like, I was expected to start coding or start building functionalities on Salesforce with 12 minutes of briefing about Salesforce. This is, I don't know, 2009, 10, something like that. And you have to have, there was very less internet. I mean, I think Rupesh, maybe Atul, I don't know, would relate of how much knowledge was available on internet back those days. So your seniors are as good as you, because everybody, so being in a Salesforce project back then was by default assuming that you're going to work till 2 o'clock every day, because nobody can figure out what's happening there, and you just have to keep figuring out. You have to, you know, bang your head against the wall and do all those sorts. And I think, yes, I've taken my 10 minutes, but I'll keep it short. Few learnings there. I did not do a great work in my first 2 years of career, because somebody told me, you don't have to work a lot in your initial careers. You are going to be anywhere. You'll have to slog anyways. Once you have 3-4 years experience, you'll be given lead responsibilities. You'll have to do so much work. So chill. Go home 6 o'clock. Like Atul said, try to go home at 6 or 7. Don't stress yourself, because for the rest of your IT career, you got to stress yourself and work during the nights. So I took that seriously. 900 pages. There was a 2,000 page Visualforce document. Visualforce and Apex. I think 3,000 pages was Apex or Visualforce, Kishore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had, and those kind of things. For the first 2 years, no, I did not. I told myself things which Kishore was telling. Oh, I don't have good opportunity. I was in a migration integration project. I was not writing triggers, or I was not doing great stuff. I was just finishing my job and going home. Oh, somebody unmute Atul. He wants to say something there. So that's how it was. After 2 years, I realized people are switching. Salesforce is giving good salaries. People are joining Salesforce, or not Salesforce, but other Salesforce practices. And when I look back, I said, okay, I'm smart enough to actually at least find a job. And no promotion, no hike, no nothing. And that suddenly that everything is in your face. Oh, what happened? What did you do last 2.5 years? You're doing nothing. And that, thankfully, I realized it 2.5 years. Though I wasted that time. I'll tell you, that was a time when, so I got placed immediately after my graduation, right? So all my other friends, it was a recession. 2009 was a recession, 8 and 9, if you know. So it was one of the major recessions of the world. None of them had, even my class topper did not have a job. So I used to live with 10 other friends in a big flat, and only me and another guy had a job. So you could come at 6, you could come home at 6 and have so much fun. It's like reliving your college days, because you have all your college friends with some money. So you got money, right? So with some money, you can enjoy. And that's what I did for the first 2.5 years. Suddenly, I did not even buy a laptop. I thought if I buy a laptop, manager will give a lot of work to me. So I should not buy a laptop. This was the kind of advice I was given, honestly, by my seniors. So I took that all seriously. But no, after 2.5, 3 years, I realized, okay, I did not have confidence to even go for an interview. With that low confidence, I actually went to an interview and I failed. I failed without going to the interview. I failed while I was sitting in the chair. That was probably very few instances where I was nervous. I'm normally not too nervous, but I can still remember that nervousness, because I was shy or very disappointed with myself of why am I sitting in that chair with that situation when everybody else could find a job or at least clear an interview. I was not in that situation at that point in time. Thankfully, after that, I became like Atul. Give me every job, give me anything. Go to other project. And after that, I was all around the floor. So maybe floor had, I don't know, typically a floor has 70, 80 people, right? So every single person knew me. And I'll tell you, after that, it was not just every single person on the floor. Infosys Salesforce practice across the country. We had in Pune, Chandigarh, Bangalore, Chennai, Orissa, Bhubaneswar and Hyderabad. I would say 90% of people knew me and I knew them. That was the kind of blast I had after that duration. I used to get in every activity, be it event managing, be it sending out an email, be it organizing a certification time. And yes, cracking certification was a huge deal. It was by default given that, okay, first time certification, first attempt, you're supposed to fail. we were prepared like that. Everybody used to go there and fail and come back and only clear it in seconds. 401 and 501, which Atul talked about 501. 501 is even
Yeah.
a bigger deal. Even a 401 by the 2010, you just go, because there were no dumps, by the way. I'll tell you why we had to go and fail. No dumps. No, unless somebody else goes, and you can't take notes, obviously, as you all know. So you have to go there, see the pattern, come back, and then prepare accordingly. So you have to just go there and fail. Even the management was prepared that, okay, these guys, we have to spend $400 and not $200 to get them certified. That was the mindset. But I would say it was a wrong mindset. And one of my friend, when he cleared it in the first attempt, it set an example for others, saying, okay, no, it's not that big a deal. If you prepare right, if you know your concepts well enough, you can all. There were no trailers, by the way, guys. So you can't go in thin air and read about workflow, approval process, or outbound messages until you go there and you try it yourself. You don't know what it is. Okay, yeah, there are no. So yeah, that was the time when Abhinav Gupta, Ankit Arora, Gaurav sir, these people made a huge impact. Jeff Douglas, they were like gods for us. Jeff Douglas,
Yeah.
Bob Wizard, Keir Bowden. If you hear, they are not most active these days, but for us, if you could meet them, there's this is the person who's making my job happen. That was the kind of feeling that we had. Anyways, I'm probably deviating. Coming back to where I was, or how it was going through. It changed the things. I was probably in everybody's face. That was where I probably developed this. I know I speak a lot, but for the first 2.5 years, I was not on the floor. I just finished my job and went home and had time only with my 10 friends at my apartment. But after that, by default, it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at office. I used to work only after 7 o'clock. Until 7, I was just working for others' projects, looking at what everybody else is doing, see if I can do something in their project. And if nothing, I just have a chat and waste their time and my time as well. I was a little bad at that too. All those that happened, I did not quit my job. But thankfully, after that, I could get 120%, 150% offers, where I told myself, okay, now, you've crossed that stage of ability to clear an interview. And I cleared interviews like without even preparing for them. I would just go tell them what I've done. If I don't know something, I would very confidently tell them, okay, that's an interview tip for people who are preparing. If you know something, you tell them confidently you know that. If you don't know, you tell them equal confidence that you do not know it. At least that has worked for me for the entire career, I would say. Even client interviews, if you don't know something, you just tell them what you know about it, and whatever you don't know, just tell them you don't know about it, because that's not an easy thing to do. Because if that job matters to you, it's tough to say, I don't know this, or I'm not going to do this. It's tough to say that because there's a lot at stake for you. It could be an on-site opportunity. It could be a business opportunity. It could be a job opportunity. So, but if you learn to say that, it'll be a huge add-on to your, skill set of clearing an interview. But yes, I cleared that. I did not take any job offers. My senior management took note of me because of all this nonsense I was doing, all the extra work, I would say, more than the technical work. And I traveled. That I had a bigger impact. I traveled to Europe, and I lived in Europe for a couple of years. There I traveled about 8 or 9, at least I think 6 or 7 countries, I would say. So all of this, again, travel added or taught me a lot of things in terms of how you look at life and those things. Only after coming back, I quit Infosys. I joined a startup. Okay, now the journey is coming into it. 3 more minutes. Guys, you can join with this. Okay, that's not for me. That is okay. And I always liked solutioning more than coding. I'll be honest. Though I know I'm a programmer, I can code, but having the ability or wanting to do something are two different things. And those 2 years or 2.5 years in Europe gave me the confidence to say, okay, it's okay. It's okay to not take that risk of saying, okay, it's you can quit your job. You can take a risk of saying, okay, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. And I want to do solutioning. And there was a company, OmniCloud, one of my friends, where I joined as a projects director. And 12:30. Do we have time till 12:30? I thought 12:30 we have to finish the event.
No worries, Roshan.
It depends on. So as long as the participants are not leaving, I can talk.
Yeah.
So participants count as still fine.
It is still the same. Yeah. That is what I was thinking.
We are in safe zone.
Which means they are still ears. They are still listening.
Yes.
They're listening. Or they just put us on mute and watching a movie.
No, it's really.
No, it's not like that. So yeah. Yeah, Bunty. Sisha, yeah.
I'm not to finish, Suresh. Yeah, I was going to say this. I took that jump. I took for the reason that I could solution things. Then I quit my job because I wanted to also do trainings I love training. I mean, some people know here. That's where my interest to talk this much is very useful when you are in a training job. But yes, now right now we are right now where I am. I'm at a job or I'm at a company where we are doing trainings, which is my interest, and we're also obviously doing projects. I work with. I'm happy that I actually work with Kishore and Atul in different capacities at different times. I'll not reveal how and when, but I'm happy that it's a coincidence that in my initial phase of new business, I've worked with both of you. So very happy to have you guys here as well. Coincidence, it's pure coincidence. And yes, long story short, was I think that's just one part which I was a community leader. 2013 was very active. Kavindra and everyone was very active. I was at Infosys, like I told you, I was in every area. So when Kiran and Kavindra used to come to Infosys, I was the one receiving them at the gate, making sure that they have their snacks. Again, making sure that right from A to Z of whatever was happening at Salesforce practice, I was kind of involved, including picnics and lunch and dinner and going out, everything. So that's why we started interacting with Kavindra, and that's why I know Kavindra or Kiran very well. But I went to Europe. I came back. I was at Delhi, India Dreaming 2017. I met Atul for the first time. You may not remember. From this space, I didn't know a lot of people. I only knew Abhinav Gupta, Ankit Arora, and Gaurav Khetar. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else. Not a single name. At India Dreaming, there were people from all across the world. If you remember 2017, Shiv gave me a after party pass and said, "Okay, why don't you join us?" I don't know why he gave that. I knew Shiv, by the way. So there I met Atul. We had a long chat. I don't know Atul if you remember or not. We had at least two hours chat there, along with others. There was Ankit and all the other people as well. 2018, sorry, that was 17, right?
17.
Yeah, 2000, I think. In 17 itself, this happened, and after that, in the same India Dreaming, I got the opportunity to become DG leader, and I still remember, like all of you, I remember my first event that I did. I had my, those anchors have got those notes that they carry. I did not carry them, but I literally prepared what to talk. Prepared as in not write this speech, but okay, I have to introduce, then I have to do this. I had to do that for first couple of years, I'll be very honest. But then it became a norm. I mean, now I can. We had an event where we had at least close to 650, 700 people. I think Rupesh was there. Kishore, I think, missed that event.
Yeah, I did not.
Hyderabad Trailblazing. It was one of the big, very, very big for us in terms of we be doing it as a team. It was a huge thing for us. And when I stood there in front of close to 700 people, huge auditorium, I can tell you I was nervous. Audience helped me. They clapped. And I don't know what happened after that. It just went on. So that's why I was telling the people here, all the 81 odd people, that you are actually making a contribution towards by helping Suresh, Sesha, and Chinna doing what they're doing, because you being there and putting those small chats, Rupesh, they're putting it there. Those things actually help. When you're in a physical event, it's the reaction on your face. When you're in an online event, those small messages that you put make a huge difference. Keep doing that, even if it's a joke. Fine, keep doing that. And yes, I'm happy to do what I'm doing. And since then, I've traveled to every event: Bangalore, DevX, India Dreaming, JDF, Pune Architect event. Since then, I've traveled to every event. I've been traveling a lot. Every alternate Saturday, I'm either discussing an event, participating, or planning a future event. I don't stay at home Saturdays. It's been all wonderful. And thank you, Sesha, Suresh, and Chinna, for giving this opportunity. I really feel happy, and I hope I saw some comments there where people are able to relate. So yeah, we celebrated my birthday on stage. In fact, I've celebrated a couple of my birthdays on stage, Rupesh, for that matter. So what I was saying is, this is a bridged version. If you're interested, my handles, and we can always talk more if you have a specific question of how to come out of the situation, because I think and when I did not take my 150% hike job, I was at my lowest financial point in my career. I had huge debts for multiple reasons, from my side, from family side. In spite of that, I did not take that offer of, my salary was getting more than doubled. Imagine this. I'll not take numbers, but My salary was getting more than double. 125% is not a joke when you talk about as a hike back in those days. But I still did not take. And the lesson I learned there was the connect that I had with management. Some people might look at it as chaploosi, or they're saying this, okay, just too much attached and you're not doing work, you're just talking. But no, I did my work. They've seen it, and they trusted me. I trusted them to make sure that I'm going to help them in ways I can, and they're going to make sure that my career is going to take off the way I expect it to. And I'm happy that they kept their promises, and I still am very much connected with them. They're at a VP level, director level of multiple companies, and I'm happy that I have a very good connect with them by not leaving the company, and took a decision of staying back with Infosys. On that note, I'll say thank you for now. I'm sure there are a lot of questions. Okay. Hey, Banu, thanks for joining. I don't know when you
Banu madam is there. She's there with
Hi, ma'am.
another name.
I would say yes. I'll shut up now. Sesha, China, Suresh, take it away. I took 25 minutes, but I hope you guys like
No issues, Roshan. It was really
Roshan,
inspiring.
I just want to tell you one thing. To be honest, you were there in this ecosystem from past 10. So we have this luxury of Trailhead. We have the luxury of success community. We have the luxury of having a great leaders of Roshan, Kishore, Atul, and many more. But at your days, there is no luxury. You have having your struggling days, not with you, with Kishore sir and also with Atul sir. To be honest, I'm really emotional listening to your story because, I have not struggled this much. I had this cakewalk to get a good job, and I had this Salesforce, so-called Salesforce in my college. And my college people at the second year, they are having Salesforce and they are certified at second year. So I think we are blessed. We are blessed to have this ecosystem at this time. And I got very good jobs in the Salesforce ecosystem with good packages, and also my fellow students also got good jobs. I can't say thank you. I can't say
Sesha,
thank you. It's more than a thank you to all.
These days
so
we
I
have.
would like to add up again. Yeah. So as Roshan said, it is like for clearing that 401 certification, we used to read 900 pages of recruiting app. So
Yes.
that is a Bible for us, literally. So we used to create all the objects,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, like, unless we did not even have, Trailhead came about at the end of 2015 or 2016, but till 2014, I mean, like, there are people who started their journey from 2009 as well. So I know them. So, and we had a very good mentors as well. Yeah. So that I should not forget about them. So we had very good mentors in our corporate life. So again, thankful for them. And then that is how you guys are lucky enough that you guys are learning when you're passing out, something about Salesforce. I mean, like, if it is not the full thing, I mean, like, almost like 40% of what Salesforce Sales Cloud is and Service Cloud is. But yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, while you are there at your college, if you have any doubts, if you want to have any clarities on things, there are people around you. You just post it on Twitter or any other platform. People answer you. So we did not have that liberty at that time. So utilize it, make best out of it, and then grow yourself. That's it.
Thank you, Kishore sir. Banu ma'am, any words you want to share? Thanks for joining.
I didn't want to actually interrupt, but I just so loved hearing all the stories, and this was such a wonderful experience for me as well. And again, this is an awesome give back session that you all have organized on a Sunday, because I think it is also important to hear this side of the story as well. How people have made it. If you all have heard of the 3-minute mile story, there was 4-minute mile story, I think. Sorry, somebody ran a mile in less than a minute, and everybody thought nobody can do it until that first person did it. Just like how I think Roshan was saying, right? Everybody thought that certifications was not it was not possible to crack it in the first go until somebody did it. So I think every day there is a possibility for you all to reinvent and be leaders in your own right and in your own space. So this was very inspiring for me as well. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I loved every bit of it. Thank you, and good luck to everybody. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot.
Pleasure to have you. Yes, guys, you can follow us on these handles. I'm just going through this. At the rate Vijayawada SFDC in Twitter, Vijayawada India Developer Group in LinkedIn. It is a LinkedIn group. You can follow us in Telegram, hashtag Vijayawada Community League. We are also having the YouTube channel, Vijayawada India Developer Group. We are going to post these videos in YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We are coming up with the next surprise and third and last surprise. So, guys, we are coming up next Sunday with these MVPs: Om Prakash sir, Amit Singh, and Aviral Agarwal.
Thank you, and look forward to the video and pictures and everything else that we've done.
Yeah.
So the swags will be decided, guys. Our tweets will be the best. One will be the best tweet. Second one will be the more likes, and the third one will be the who tweets the most. So these three will be getting the swags.
Yeah,
Yes,
before you guys close it, so I would like to thank each and one of you guys over here, whoever has attended, all 87 people, 80 people over here. So thanks a lot for having me, Roshan and Atul over here, and it is an honor. It is an honor to be part of the inaugural event with you guys. I've gone to many of the inaugural events. Yeah, this one was a virtual one, my first virtual inaugural event, and it will be a memorable one for me for sure. So yeah, I'm excited for your future events. I'll have a note on you guys. I'll track you guys where you are, what you guys are doing it. So yeah, I'm excited for you as well. So stay safe, stay blessed, and keep rocking. That's it.
Thank you, Kishore.
Thanks, Kishore.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, again, it's definitely
Yeah,
an
yeah.
honor. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, everybody. Kishore, as you said, everybody's happy, and it's good to see where we started. I hope the journey goes from here on. Yeah.
Thank you, Roshan.
Thank you so
See
much
you
for
guys.
joining.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Nice
Atul
meeting
sir.
Bye,
you all.
Kishore sir.
And
Bye,
thanks,
Roshan.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Atul
safe.
sir, we miss your video, but thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys, again.
Kishore,
All right.
please take
Bye.
care.
Thank
Stay
you.
healthy.
Thanks a lot.
Stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye bye.